Hey everybody, it's Comedex and welcome back to the Avatar The Last Airbender Collector Booster Box Arena Direct. Once again, this is your chance to win some physical Magic Gathering cards by playing digital Magic on Arena. We are playing Best of One Sealed, the super high variance format with only 2 losses until you're out of the event. So there's only 1 loss to give on the way to the box. 8,000 gems to play. That's over $40 entry. Super high stakes, super competitive, super high variance event. You all know the drill by now. Even the best players in the world sometimes fail 16 times in a row. So hopefully that doesn't happen here today, as I would love to end off the year with a collector booster box of every set. Without further ado, let's hop into this event, bust open these packs, see what we get to play with today. All right, so green, red, blue looks like a spot to be. I mean, if we have really good fixing to go green, red, blue, white, that would be pretty sick. So we've got the Earthbender Ascension that can fix our mana for a 3-color deck. There's also a green, red, Toph, maybe green, red, white at the core, because Suki also requires double white, so we want to be pretty heavy into that color, and then maybe splash in blue to get to Iroh, Grand Lotus, and Avatar Aang. But these 5 rares are all super good. Secret Tunnel's quite good as well, but that would be pretty hard to justify playing if we play all 4 colors, because then every colorless land in our deck would be quite a hefty cost. Obsessive Pursuit is fine, but I highly doubt we end up in black considering where all of our other colors align rare-wise. So let's see what we've got. Multicolored and colorless stuff. See if we have some really good fixing here. We got a Barrels of Blasting Jelly, which honestly, if I play 4-color Aang, sure, I'll end up running that. And then 1 of Rumble Arena. That is going to be it for colorless fixing. But there's a red-white duel and a green-red duel. Those are both helpful towards that 4-color Aang, but that's it there. There's no blue-red, no blue-white, nothing like that in terms of fixing, so that's a little sad. We've got an Air Nomad Legacy, could be interesting if we play blue and white, because we've got double Messenger Hawk for it as well, for some flyers. None of the other multicolored stuff looks particularly interesting. I guess if we have a whole ton of allies, we've got a White Lotus Reinforcements, that could be cool. Pretty much all of our rares are allies or care about allies, so maybe that actually ends up playing pretty well. I suppose there is a Bender's Water Skin. Forgot to mention that, because I usually never run it, but if we're playing 4-color Aang, this could be the one time I'm actually interested in it. So those are the notable cards there. Mainly all of the fixing, but also White Lotus Reinforcements towards allies, maybe Air Nomad Legacy with all these hawks towards flyers. Check out all our colors now, hoping that blue, white, red, and green are great. I'm actually going to start by checking on the black, because it is the most detracted from all of our rares, so I just want to check it first and make sure that it's not fantastic or anything. And it is certainly not fantastic. There's a high quantity of cards, but a lot of them are really mediocre, like Hog Monkeys, Peddlers, Fatal for Sure, Swamp Visions, Waterbending, and then there's just like solid filler. Actually, Lowen Lee only grabs Azula in here, so Lowen Lee isn't even solid filler. But yeah, then there's like solid filler like Wolfbat, Judy, and Azula, and then like 2 good removal spells, 1 good card draw spell. Yeah, there's a lot of pretty bad filler here, so despite the high quantity of cards, I'm not really too pressed about trying to play black here. I'm pretty okay to ignore it for all of our colors that have great bomb rares instead. White does not look like the best color ever to go deep into. Just awkward with the Suki, because Suki does want double white, so we do want a lot of white sources in the deck to consistently cast her early. So that's disappointing, but Suki, Rallier, Razor Rings are all pretty good. I mean, Airbending Lesson's decent as well. Team Avatar would need to be a really creature-heavy deck, though, and Sandbender's Storm can be a bit dirtily. White's okay, not a super great core color to the deck, but maybe we could make that a secondary with good enough green. Blue's got Invasion Submersible, one of the best uncommons in the sets. Solid counterspell with It'll Quench Ya. Boomerang Basics. Don't really love the Honest Work, but Watery Grasp is great. Accumulate Wisdom solid. Just a bunch of good interaction here, really. Almost no creatures. So that seems like a solid splash color. red. Removal spell here. Bunch of filler creatures. The removal spell, the Cave of Two Letters, are the best cards going on here. Last but not least, please be just incredible green with a lot of good fixing. Not really. We don't want Turtle Duck. Pillar Launch. Green's okay. Okay, so we're gonna have to be real splashy here. So we're not gonna have a super deep core color to this deck either. Are all of our white creatures allies at least? Ally, ally, ally. There's 3 white allies. None of our green creatures are allies. That's not good. Yeah, White Lotus Reinforcement's not actually looking like where it's at. Barrels, water skin. Yeah, this really is going to be the opposite of our first deck. Our first deck was just a real basic, streamlined 2-color deck. Not really streamlined because the sealed pool wasn't very synergistic or didn't have a good mana curve or anything. This sealed pool just feels like it leans itself towards kind of awkward 4-color where we're not even like massively high on fixing for it. This could be an issue. Some of these hybrid cards, since they should be a lot easier to cast than a lot of other stuff. I don't hate Moose Lions and Sealed. They're very, very slow in draft, but Sealed does slow things down a little. Lightning Strike, Cave of Two Lovers. Since I don't have a really consistent like allies core to the deck, maybe green, red, splash a little blue and a little white could be reasonable. Well, got the red here. If white is our second deepest color, then we can actually hit the double white, and we really want to hit the double white if possible. Cutting these for better blue cards. Or even red cards, Lightning Strike. We would like a high instant sorcery count for Iroh to be fully like popping off and fully great. It's not a good team avatar deck. We're going to be cutting lower on creatures. Could hit abandon attachments off either blue or red as the splash color. Submersible's just very good. Accumulate wisdom late game after playing a bunch of lessons could be great. We want one more lesson if I have one. Like another lesson removal spell, like a Lost Days. I've got double Lost Days. So it looks like red is the lightest splash if we do it this way. Uncle Iroh with the Lost Days, these 2-mana lessons. Run as many lessons as possible as well for Accumulate Wisdom. The big Iroh can flashback Lost Days for 1 mana. Yeah, I like to focus up on green, white, and blue here. Bit deep for a splash, but is what it is. Got Rumble Arena, we got Barrels, we got a couple duels, we got an Earthbender Ascension. Water Skin. Lightning Strike is the main card that is not currently in the deck that I feel like I'm missing out on it all at this point. When our blue having all of these lessons, synergizing well with Toph and both of the Irohs, does make me consider dropping white as a core color and just making green and blue the only core colors with a very light white and red splash to add to the consistency. Blue has a lot of good interaction. It doesn't have a ton of creatures, but if we go blue, we get to play the double Messenger Hawk for more filler creatures in here. Boomerang Basic slows things down. Quench slows things down. Paku is our early blocker. I actually like blue at the core better here. Got a Watery Grasp as well, slowing things down. This honestly seems like an okay Platypus Bear deck just because I don't have other early blockers. So I can consider that as well. Okay. This Iroh might be a little hard to cast. This looks like a much better mana base though, playing it this way. And if I cut this Aang, really don't think I even need the water skin. I still have Earthbender, Sentient Toph, Iroh. I feel like the mana base might be good enough with the duels, the Rumble Arena, the Ascension that I can cut the water skin, even like keeping the Aang in here. I do have a lot of instants in the deck, so we can actually get a little bit of value off of the water skin untap. Well, I'd cut a Platypus Bear before I cut a Paku. If I'm cutting any creatures, I think it's some combination of these, maybe an Iroh. Maybe Avatar Aang. And I gotta cut 3 cards. I'm gonna cut some Platypus Bears. So fixing and fixing. Make a stack of removal. Some bounce. This is also fixing. It's card draw. I'm really tempted to just cut the non-lessons, but the thing is, Iroh can still flashback non-lessons. Toph still gets +1/+1 counters off of non-lessons. Still gets Earthbend triggers. Like, this uncommon Iroh is the only thing that cares exclusively about lessons. I could drop that and then cut the 2 weakest lessons and keep the best removal still, keeping Lightning Strike and Rebuke. Feels better than anything else here. I like the idea of the origin of metal bending and the true ancestry with these really good rares. One to protect them, one to bring them back later. The abandoned attachments can dig towards them, as can Seismic Sense and Accumulate Wisdom. So I guess I do like all of the lessons. All right, I mean, I've got a Quench, and I've got a True Ancestry to bring one back from a grave. Maybe I just drop the Indestructible Trick at that rate. And the core colors are making up the vast majority of this deck. 13 blue cards, 11 green. Feel like I can cut a Mana Rock as well. Yeah, let's do that. 4 red sources, 3 white sources, 8 blue, 7 green. Sounds pretty good to me. All right, very different deck from our first time around, but we'll call it a deck here, hop into the gameplay, see how far this one can take us. It's a 4-color opening hand. It's a snap keep. We're on the draw for game 1. Run out the duel. Playing against green-white allies on the draw. They start with 2 mana, 2/3. Start with our audience here. Jam us for 2 with the deserters. We'll go down to 18. They are curving out on the play here. We are definitely in the market for slowing them down. So I don't mind submersible on the warship. Instead of taking 4 to the face very quickly. Poke for 2. We will not be blocking, and we don't have enough permanents to waterbend the submersible. Next turn's probably play the Messenger Hawk and crack the clue. Also leaves us with a lot of permanents towards activating submersible. No attacks. They want to hold up on blocks here. There's Lost Days mana if I just pass. I think I need to go Hawk here though. I suppose I could have played the island and also been holding up Accumulate Wisdom. But I am hoping I can be a little greedy with it. Especially since I have drawn at least 1 lesson now, and 2 different clue tokens. 1 clue from Messenger Hawk, another clue from Lost Days. I'm just going to take 4 from Warship here. Path to Redemption on our Messenger Hawk. Sure. And then Suki, Courageous Rescuer. Whenever any permanent they control leaves the battlefield, they get a 1/1 and all their creatures get +1/+0. Very strong rare. I guess Suki doesn't trigger off of every permanent. Suki triggers off of everything except Suki herself. So I think we just sack a clue and draw a card here for now, and Lost Days the Suki, then block with Submersible. But it's a painful turn for sure. Pass through, holding up blocks, Lost Days Suki. There's only 1 hexproof trick they can have in green-white. It's an uncommon white spell. Crew with Suki. That warship is so bad for us. Maybe we just Lost Days the warship here, because now they just get 1 Suki trigger for the turn, even if they use Path. Team Avatar, yikes. Okay, I can't afford to get greedy with this Accumulate Wisdom, I just have to dig. True Ancestry does not have any permanents to pick up. This Avataring it is. It's not gonna be enough. We don't have the mana for him yet. Yeah, we didn't really care about Suki's 1/1s at all until they had Team Avatar. And then it's like, well, shoot. I guess we needed to kill Suki. Yeah, it's rough. Some flood for our draws. At least we're drawing a card every turn off of Aang. Chump, send in 4, draw a card. Chump, send in 4, draw a card. Our opponent's now also drawing a ton of cards off of Water Tribe Rallier, with a bunch of permanents on the board to waterbend. Turtle Duck. Okay. That'll kill me in one shot with Team Avatar. Duck usually doesn't do anything, but it does kill you with a Team Avatar. I have 1 turn to draw something or die. But I have 2 draws to do it. Top deck is Seismic Sense, which digs very far for specifically a creature, but not anything else. Play the land for an 8th land for Seismic Sense, and we'll see what it is. There's an Iroh that is 6 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll have 3 mana up afterward. Not enough to recast. I could recast Lost Days, actually. Creature or enchantment. Hit the Team Avatar with the 1 mana Lost Days because of Iroh's ability to recast them for 1. They don't have any card draw on their board. And Suki doesn't trigger during our turn either. Iroh is the one and only hope here. I could Firebend with Aang. Oh, I'm at 10. 3 blockers up. If I get rid of Team Avatar. Block there, block there, block there. Take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is not lethal. But it is painful, but I draw a ton of cards if I swing Aang in here. This could be wrong. I'm going bold on this. Oh, I exile it from grave, so I actually don't even get to do that. Not going to have the mana for Quench, and they're definitely going to have the mana to pay for it, so Earthbender Ascension is that draw. And Lost Days. Dead to them top decking removal. Let's see the draw. If I play this, I'm dead right now. I can Seismic Sense, though. Sure. Toph. Alright, here's their draw step to see if they hit the kill. We've used every instant sorcery in our grave, so if they do just flunge it all in, we're absolutely throwing Iroh in there on the Turtle Duck. I feel like it's probably their best play. Like, if they top deck to planes or whatever, their best play is still just flunge everybody in. Probably should not have sent Aang in. Would it let us cast the whole grave that turn? There was so much going on. Activate Rallier. Miss. Land for turn. so happy to see no attacks here. Immensely happy to see that. That increases our chances of stabilizing massively. Kyoshi Warriors is the draw and the play. That does reduce that chance. So that probably explains why they were digging so much. If they have multi-creature cards they could top deck. Toph only returns instants and sorceries. True Ancestry for Submersible and play it, and cast a Toph as well. Toph should be played first. For the Earthbending. No, then I don't pick up an instant or sorcery. Earthbender Ascension instead of Toph then? And then the order doesn't matter. Yes. Kill a token. Is 5 blocks up enough to attack with Aang? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Block all the non-tokens, take 6. Yes. I don't actually have enough permanents to tap for the Submersible and have 5 blockers up while attacking with Aang. I think I have to pass one more turn here. Find a Poxbearers, play a Poxbearers. Find an Earth Kingdom Jailer. That's a beautiful one. Lost days for that. Boomerang basics as well. And I have Toph. Oh my god, what do I even do? I need a flyer to get any damage in. So I need to Lost Days to get Aang back. But then Rallier can just draw it off of the thing. Yeah, Rallier can activate an ability, redraw it. Okay, Lost Days actually kind of sucks against Rallier. 1, 2, 3, 4 permanents on their board. Hold the phone. I can bring them down to 1 blocker. They block the 5. 5 take 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's not lethal. So close though. I guess I'm just gonna hit the rallier then. Oh, this is too complex. It's too much nonsense to do. I'm playing this game out super wrong, but I think this works. Quench for us. I gotta get my lines together. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8 toughness over there. Just lethal crackback. Nine toughness, but I've got a lightning strike 2 now. Six damage, yes. Just flashback, just do it the simple way. Oh my god. I probably could have won that game so many turns ago. But it's like I could also have toffed back the lightning strike there and spammed that. I probably was supposed to play Toph a lot sooner is what I was supposed to do this game. But every turn we did not play the right line. The most important turns of like stabilizing we did. But then, yeah, I gave them a lot of turns to potentially draw out of things. That was really, really sloppy, but luckily that is what our deck does in the late game. If we've drawn 32 cards, we've probably drawn multiple bombs by then. That Iroh was a huge one. Huge, huge, huge overperformer to Seismic Sense that drew us the Iroh and the Aang, because we had like 8 lands out by the time we played that. Huge underperformer to my gameplay decisions. But hey, we still win the game. We're 1-0 heading into game 2. Here we are for game 2. Nice opening hand. We have Messenger Hawk. Come on, play the island. We have Messenger Hawk to do a little bit of digging here, and we have 3 of the 4 colors for Aang already. Messenger Hawk dies, we can bring it back with True Ancestry and get another clue. Do more digging. Compassionate Healer starts our opponent off. Drop the Hawk. Playing the Plains here in case I top deck exactly our mountain, which is very unlikely, but still. Chance. Earthbender Ascension. That's what I would have wanted. Really good. Boomerang Basics cannot bounce that. That land. So just get a 2/2 and ramp up. Very good card. Another green. Not at Badgermole or Aang mana either way, so we crack the clue. Might have to Boomerang Basics, just a 2/2 here to buy time. Accumulate Wisdom's the draw. Could maybe afford to play that here. Taking 4 at minimum next turn. I think I still just want a Boomerang. Boomeranging the Ascension is really bad. They just replay the healer and another 2-drop? Sure. Some solid work from Boomerang. We spam Badgermoles with Graveyard Recursion for them. Hold the Hawk back rather than poke for 1. We'll save the Chump Blocker or the Audience Blocker up. Beastmaster Ascension. This card was completely busted in Zendikar. And it remains completely busted here. Just declare 7 attacks throughout the game and you win. All of your creatures get +5/+5. Oh man. And the trigger's off of every single creature attacking. Rocky Rebuke, sure, we'll take the 2-for-1 there. Yeah, if they attack with 6 more creatures throughout the entire game, they will win. There's the red for Aang. Definitely need the 4/4 up, but they're likely to just play a land to make healer bigger. I think I just have to take every single trade I can get. Keep their board state as small as humanly possible. Aang's Journey does pick up a land for Earthbender Ascension to make healer a 4/4, which can attack into the Badgermole. Snap trade. Scry to the bottom from opponent. And they've got 2 cards in their hand still. One's a Badgermole. Yep, that gives them a lot of attackers for Beastmaster Ascension. They can attack with 3 creatures in 1 turn. I don't have the mana to Ancestry back a Badgermole and play 1 again. I could play Barrels and Aang, but they play 1 land and Badgermole's 5 power. But they still need 5 more triggers for Beastmaster, so I can double block a 5/5 Badgermole. Yeah, Aang and Barrels is all we've got. could also Aang and then instant speed accumulate wisdom after blocking. But I'm going to get the entry fee of barrels out of the way. Ew. The airbending Aang to ruin our blocks here. Well, they don't attack all here. They just attack with Badger Mold. Barrels is enough to make them attack with only 3 creatures next turn instead of 4. But that would require literally all of my mana, and then the rest of their board could attack in very freely to get it to just 1 counter left. So that is not ideal. I'm gonna guess I have the mana to play Aang and use the barrels, which means the rest of the board does not attack in that freely if they don't find another way to kill Aang. Yeah, just do this while they're tapped out before they could protect it with anything or declare any attacks with it. If they play anything that earth bends, then we're dead. Because then that's the attack with 4 creatures and they would all have +5/+5. But that is not going to be the play for the turn. But they do find the land for turn off the clue to trigger Hawk plus counter on it for the trample. Send everybody here. Gross. Now we're going to be fully Beastmastered here. So I need to find like Iroh and just spam removal on everything they play. Watery Grasp, okay. Watery Grasp is something. Watery Grasp ends up in our grave as well, right? Yes, it does. So I can Watery Grasp attack, Firebending mana to Waterbend True Ancestry, recast Watery Grave on the other Messenger Hawk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have exactly enough for this, I believe. Which is another Aang trigger. Now I've got overkill mana, thanks to top decking a land. Ancestry back, Watery Grasp. Grasp the other Hawk. Now they need to Earthbend to trigger Ascension. They need a haste attacker. Audience is not a haster, but it will still trigger the Ascension next turn regardless. Just not immediately. So that's going to be a 8/4, 9/4 if they play a land for turn. It's Firebend, draw a card. Find an Earthbender Ascension. Let's Waterbend, draw a card as well. Find Master Haku. None of this deals with the audience. I need to do everything in my power to have this Ascension not be triggered. I mean, I have both of my 5 mana blue removal spells can hit enchantments. So if I can just hit one of those, that would work too. Do I have the mana to accumulate into one? I do. It's not one. Now I would not have the mana to accumulate into one. I could hit smaller removal for audience, maybe. Rocky Rebuke or Lightning Strike I could hit here. Or invasion submersible. I think I bounce the Beastmaster Ascension because it's just so bad for me if they Earthbend next turn. If I don't bounce the Beastmaster Ascension, I bounce the Audience instead. They could like Earthbend hit for 5 minimum, pretty much. It's Aang. Not good for me. Whatever I do, I have to hold up the Lost Days, which means I need 5 mana up. I can't play Earthbender Ascension and have 5 up. I could play Paku or Audience. Reach Death Toucher. Counter onto Aang. Probably after Lost Days Aang. No cards in their hand? Yeah, they go to combat and I Lost Days Aang then. They get to sack a land. They'll top deck Aang again next turn and we'll do this all over again, but we won't have to deal with it for right now. I could wait till they declare the attack. They'd get more counters on Ascension that way, but then I would get to eat the Audience. I don't think the Audience is attacking there regardless, though. So it would just be letting them get another Ascension counter, really. Waterbend, draw a card. Oh yeah, we mill the Aang with Master Paku. I did not realize that. Neither did our opponent. Oh, we milled a Beifong? Beifong's bounty thingy. Let's Earthbend. Draw a card. I don't think I need to animate these lands. I can sack to draw cards. Because I've been drawing so many cards already regardless. There's Iroh. And then Iroh can 1 mana Lost Days. Something this turn. So I can play land, play Iroh, attack with Aang for firebending, use the firebending mana on Lost Days, win. Yeah, this is all attack at this rate. Find a lightning strike to play instead. Leave all this stuff in the grave for later. Fine by me. Concession from our opponent. Ooh, another crazy game. Trying to keep a Beastmaster Ascension at bay, but our rares are absurd. Avatar Aang has actually been so worth the splash both of these first couple games in a row. Crazy, crazy stuff. Very different from our first run, but still a very good start to it. We are undefeated at 2-0 now, guaranteeing at least a 50-50 record this time around. Pretty slow hand here. We Watery Grasp their first threat. Messenger Hawk and Size makes sense to do some digging towards our own. It's more than keepable. Not much more than keepable, but I do not hate it. Opponent is a white deck. Green-white it is. Boomerang basics slow things down. Sure. I don't think it'd be crazy to seismic sense this early, but I like it in this deck with all of our really powerful rare creatures, more as a bit of a late game kind of tutor than anything else. So I'm just gonna hold it there. I don't think a block would be insane here, but I don't think it's particularly good. Submersible. It's a good draw. Sure. Appa. Ah. I was like, I don't think there's any reason not to attack here. Mythic Rare Appa is a reason. It's Avatar Aang, no white source yet though. Watery Grasp and hold up the Waterbend. I'm gonna go ahead and Seismic Sense here too. At this point, find the white for Aang. And we can just shuffle Appa back in their end step. Or in response to them doing anything. If they have Airbending Lesson, they can do it in response to us trying to shuffle Appa back. So I kind of don't actually want to try to activate here if they're just going to leave all their mana up like this. We just wait, because the first one to blink in that exchange loses pretty bad. So I need to constantly have 5 permanents untapped to play around that. Which means I have to wait for 1 more mana. So I will not have 5 permanents untapped until Aang resolves. So I could do this and then in response they Airbending Lesson Appa. I guess we're just chilling. We're just hanging out with our opponent here. Probably crack the clue in their end step. Iroh's got a decent graveyard going for him. I guess the problem with cracking the clue is now I need even more permanents to actually do the waterbend. True Ancestry. Pick up a Messenger Hawk. Get a clue. Earthbender Ascension, I have 4 mana untapped until this resolves for the waterbend. Just gonna play a weird, incredibly slow game. I could just be playing around ghosts right now. Cool. So now we are good to do as we please. And just start popping off, basically. Their hand is probably pretty much all removal. So probably just get one spell of value off Iroh. But that would make sense with how the game is going. Watery Grasp the Iroh. Shuffle him back before our turn, yep. Poke for 2. Let's get ready to rumble. Missed out on an Aang draw, but that's okay. Get the extra mana so I can do like Aang and Badger Mole together soon. Do all this and crack a clue. We are halfway towards extra counters out of this Ascension. Tough. Earthbend. They poke for 2. We'll go to 11. Crack a clue and find a Lost Days. Find a land for turn as well. That is the mana for Aang plus Badger Mole, unless they have Quench. Here. They do have something here. Play around Quench by just holding up Lost Days. But then they just could have removal on Aang. If they have instant speed removal on Aang, they can kill Aang before Badger Mole enters the battlefield anyway. To stop us from drawing a card off of Aang. Ooh, the double block. Sure, we'll whittle those down. Just kill the planes, that also makes Toph a 0/3. Hold up a Lost Days. Oh, it was blow up the Ascension. I don't hate redrawing it in a second. I feel like this is still better to hold up and play on like their 7/7 reach and then just kill them with what we already have on the board instead of trying to redraw that Ascension. Invasion, Submersible the Aang back to our hand. Yep. Fox Bears has put in work. Down to 9 it is. Draw. Find a land for turn. Find a Quench. Now I can Aang into Badgermole holding up Quench. If they have the interaction. But I guess if they have exactly Quench, they could Quench our Quench. Or we can't quench their Quench, I should say. If they have exactly enough to pay for it if it's a 2-mana spell they're trying to play. That's a 3-mana spell. When you get value out of the super late game Quench. Iroh is the draw. Maybe I shouldn't attack here because our inevitability is so high. But I should just really make sure I don't get cheesed out by something. But I am sending that 3 in. True Ancestry, the removal spell, remove the Aang. We got the 4/4 blocker up, so we take no hit this turn. Okay. Master Paku is the draw. Earthbender Ascension here, right? Iroh to return a card from grave to hand for 1. Pick Earthbender Ascension. A lot of good options. I'll just go Earthbender Ascension though. Okay, they cracked the clue. Get trampled for 5. Go to 4. Sabertooth Moose Lion on blocks. Okay, and I should just be able to double Lost Days lethal. Just lowering their toughness enough here. I've got the Quench up if they try to do anything. Fire Breathe, a Clue Crack. Yeah, there's the concession from our opponents. That is 3-0 for a positive record in this event no matter what, and we will be getting some of our entry feedback. No blue source in this opener is sketchy, but we can protect ourselves with a Lightning Strike to start us off, and we are on 8 blue sources. I'm going to keep this. Probably just cycle True Ancestry early. Get the clue to get the blue. Firebender Ascension starts things off for our opponent. That would be super good if I had blue. I think I just Lightning Strike this thing before they get any triggers. Corrupt Court Official, goodbye Mountain. Find a Plains. What are the odds of these draws? Another blue spell. Obsessive Pursuit. That card is incredible. They get a clue token every single turn, and every time they sack a clue and then attack, they get a +1/+1 counter for each card they sacked. So that just stacks up really quickly. Top's a good draw. Maybe the second best draw below Island. They haven't had to spend any removal yet though, so I imagine Top's gonna die here. Yep, Boomy Bash it is. There's Rumble Arena for blue. I don't desperately want to discard any of these that bad. Could afford basically anything I draw. Lightning Strike the official. I don't want to Boomerang basics it. Guess I could take a hit for it one more turn. Get this Messenger Hawk down. Just keep all the mana up. Strange. It's gonna be like the firebending thing. Create 2/2/2s with firebending. Here's my 2/1 to block the 2/2 to force them to put more counters on the official, and then when they go to do it, I can lightning strike it, I guess. Alright, it is the 2/2/2s with firebending. That is filthy with Firebender Ascension. And all these clues. Yeah, we're gonna get Wombo comboed out here. Those Firebend for 2 apiece soon enough. So they can each just crack a clue every time they attack. Crack a clue. I'm not going to lightning strike one of their creatures unless they crack enough clues to make one of their creatures lifelink. Then I'll have to just shoot it. But if one of them isn't going to get lifelink, then we have a slight chance of trying to outrace them since Pursuit keeps shooting them in the face. That's something. We're very unlikely to outrace them, but it's probably our best bets. And it could happen off of drawing something like Iroh to like recast a lightning strike to face for an extra 6 out of nowhere. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7 damage. They don't have the mana to recast Fire Nation attacks. If they play one blocker, I could Boomerang Basics that. Hit for 3 and Lightning Strike them. They're at 7 and still just lose that race hard. think I'm supposed to trade audience off. I'm not seeing... Not seeing any lines here that are going to get us anywhere near winning this race. Or grinding out the long game, because Obsessive Pursuit draws a million cards. We were never going to out-grind Obsessive Pursuit. More blue cards. And we're just getting absolutely steamrolled by Pursuit. I can't really change that. Whatever line I take. The only way I don't just like die off cracking this clue and then getting like removal spelled is if I hit exactly an island afterward. Unlikely. But if I just pass and hold up a lightning strike and they just go crackly, attack all, I also just straight lose. All I'm doing is chumping a little. I don't think the lines matter at this point. But maybe if we top deck an island, we then Watery Grasp with a Court Official, poke for 3, and keep the tiniest dream of racing. That is not that at all. We just found none of our islands 17 cards deep. We would have needed a much faster hand to try to compete this game. Because that early Obsessive Pursuit draws them so many cards throughout this game. The longer it sticks around, the worse our predicament gets. Sold out, sure. Just gonna have the double removal anyway. Yep, that'll do it. I think the only thing we could have done that game was mulligan the opener. That was probably the only decision point that really mattered there. Obsessive Pursuit just really puts way too much pressure on us. And we just did not find blue till infinitely too late. Even if we were under less pressure, we were having a really bad time with those draws. Yeah, I kept a risky hand I probably should not. And that's all it takes. Our best bet was to be down a card with a 6-card hand. Pray for the best. We'd have to have a pretty great 6-card hand to beat that, but our deck is capable of some pretty good hands, so it would have been a much better chance than what we did keeping that 7 there based on how we drew. So sad day. The win streak ends there. It is 3-1 heading into game number 5. We got much better mana this game. Can even hold up a lightning strike on turn 2. We go tap land into Rumble Arena. Can hold up a lightning strike turn 2. I can play a Messenger Hawk turn 3. Pretty wild. Because I'm playing a Rumble Arena here, though, it would mean that even if I draw the perfect lands, I couldn't Aang till turn 5. So I'm actually going to go island here. If I draw absolutely perfectly, then I can actually also turn 4 Aang. Okay, I did not draw absolutely perfectly. But audience is the green. So Rumble Arena and play audience instead of Messenger Hawk. Barrels. Barrels works too. We play the audience. If the audience doesn't die, that means I have 5 mana next turn, 1 mana on barrels. The rest of it goes to Aang. But I think even without barrels, I would be able to cast Aang because I can filter 1 mana. But it would obviously be better to get the barrels out. Green, blue, red, filter 1, yeah. Let's see if they've got the cheap removal. Cannot be a lightning strike. That would be a deal 3. It has to be sold out or the sack a creature blows something up. Oh no, it's the literal highest win rate rare in the entire set. Fire Nation Drill. Hello, Ghost of Christmas Past. It's our first sealed deck. Hopefully they don't have double drill like we did, but that's still just a horrible time for us. We get 2 for 1 by that hard because it is a 6/3 trampler that we will not be able to live if we don't deal with. So we'll save Lightning Strike for that. Cast a Messenger Hawk and pass holding up a Lightning Strike. Don't think I need audience on blocks because they're just gonna crew the drill. I mean, I guess if I held the audience up on blocks, I could be threatening a double block. And then I go for the double block, then they go for removal, then I go for lightning strike. I probably should have actually held that up. Because then if they have instant speed removal, we could get them. Okay, never mind. We actually played correctly. I got 2 extra damage I wouldn't have otherwise because they played sorcery speed removal pre-attacks. In which case, we would not have done any blocking there anyway. Alright, well, we technically dealt with the rare, but this is what's so powerful about cards like that. I am now pretty much out of stuff. They could sack the airship engine room in response to me blocking. Then I could respond with Rocky Rebuke or barrels. I think I actually am holding them off attacks here this time. And then if they don't attack, we're eating some clues. Fire Sages. With the mana up to put counters on it. So we can't rebuke that. Can barrels it. Save Lost Days for the next card, or I just Lost Days it in the end step. Keep the barrels out there. Threatening to blow more stuff up. Can they go to the end step? I'm going to get another clue here. I'll Lost Days the Fire Sages. They're going to keep it as a redraw out of their deck. Crack a clue, find a Boomerang Basics. Just holding on to that. Hold up the barrels, crack a clue in their end step. Pass through, let's eat a clue. Find another land. Draw for turn is Badger Mole with a Rumble Arena on the board. Let's go. Could activate the peak so I could sack it and draw a card twice. Well, I could sack and draw a card and then still have it around as a land. I think it's just going to be Rumble Arena though, because I am going to be attacking with it rather than Sacking it here. Vigilant Trample land. Can respond by making sure the peddlers will not be around to Death Touch block. Make sure it's not a 3/3. I could Boomerang Basics the Badger Mole. Okay, not if it gets exiled. Hama the Bloodbender. As long as you control Hama, they can cast the card. So we just barrels Hama. But they have officially run us out of removal then. A little sad. Don't think I need to cycle Boomerang Basics badly enough to just cast it here. Cadets is a 2/2 blocker. Oh my god. Iroh is perfect. Iroh is big enough to let us Rocky Rebuke this turn as well. So I can Lost Days for 1 on the Fire Nation Cadets, and I can Rocky Rebuke for 2 on the Fire Sages, and they have no threats left. Do it while they're tapped out. Beautiful draw. Top deck is a land for our opponent. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage. Nothing to recast from grave. Sure, I have lethal draws, but I don't have lethal right now. Water Grasp still not lethal. I mean, I could have Boomerang Basics to draw one more card and try to find lethal, but this is fine. I like Sack the Peak. This should be pretty safe. Professor Zay is not going to do it because of Summoning Sickness. That will be game. That is 4-1 now for this deck. Another very positive record, winning at least twice as many games as we lose. The worst case scenario from here on out. This has been a pretty solid start to the Avatar: The Last Airbender Arena Direct. Alright, here we are on the draw for Game 6. Perfect mana, Watery Grasp to slow them down, and Audience to speed us up. Get the tap land out of the way, then go green Audience, then go blue Grasp. Playing against blue-green. Will they quench the Audience? They sure will. Three mana now. Katara. That card is a big old issue. It's Boomerang Basics her. I think I'm at a fine point to just True Ancestry back this Audience. Gives me another permanent towards the water bend of Watery Grasp. They play the Vine Bender this turn. Master Paku's the draw. Scry 1, find Lightning Strike. Which can't kill the Vine Bender if they Water Bend, but I doubt that'll be their best play next turn. So we'll be able to Watery Grasp to kill one of their cards and Lightning Strike to kill the other. Tap land for the turn. Earth King. This is already a complete nightmare. They have two rares that are incredibly powerful over the course of a long game. If they flood out, Bossing Say just keeps making creatures. And the Earth King is just huge immediate impact. Just an instant land draw there off the Vine Bender. Plus an additional blocker, or an additional 4/4. Yeah, this is really, really strong start. Grasp, the Vine Bender. Double block the 4/4 lightning, striking something else for prowess. Kind of all we got. Gonna put us quite a bit behind cards when they already have like a Mana Sink Infinite for one in the late game with Bossing Say. But it'll give us time to try to draw something crazy like our Iroh. And if they have any instance here, they just crush us, killing either of these creatures in response to the block. Actually, Lightning Strike on Earth King doesn't even matter too much now because they have so much mana already. I'd still rather save Lightning Strike for Katara, which means abandon attachments here to trigger. Okay, we actually kill the 4/4. There's Katara. They have the permanence to Waterbender once. Even if I immediately Lightning Strike her, which is sad. Man, the Bossing Say with the Earth King is really gross too, though, because they could just make a 2/2 now and then make it a 4/4 next turn. Yeah, Jesus Christ. But again, that's more Bossing Say's problem than the Earth King's. I can deal with one card. I can never deal with Bossing Say. Badger Mole's a terrible play, because then I just have 1/4/4 against theirs. Quench looks awful for the hand. I guess it's Earthbender, Ascension, and Lightning Strike. Guess Lost Days can target creatures, or can target land creatures. Because it doesn't hit non-land permanents, it hits creatures or enchantments. I don't have the mana to do anything. I mean, I could do one thing a turn, but I don't have the mana to counteract a bossing, say. It's just Lost Days. They're very heavy on blue. You play around a second quench. Just go for Lost Days now. It's pretty bad for us either way. If I wait, they might make this a 6/6. Probably not. They're probably going wide at this point. But they could so that I can't double block it. But they probably wouldn't choose to do that against the open mana, regardless. They crack a clue, draw a card, have a 3-power Messenger Hawk, send in the Messenger Hawk. They run out of Geyser Leaper. So they're gonna go for the kill in the sky. Means I have to play Messenger Hawk to chump, or double clue sack to trade to not be literally dead right now, but I'm still functionally dead. They get another Earth King land, they get another bossing, say, Earthbended 2/2. Just got bombed out as Sealed is, as Sealed does, and as we did to many opponents with Iroh and Aang. Gross. Now, it doesn't even matter. I can make Hawk a 3-power. Because they make the Geyser Leaper 4 toughness. Tylee would be literally dead, so we quench that. And now all we can do is chump. We can't even have a 3-power block. So we chump Geyser Leaper instead of Messenger Hawk. Toph is gonna be a little too late. Boomerang basics on the flyer. Maybe not quite. Toph into True Ancestry. But I haven't activated the Vinebender thing yet. I might have had a chance to do that during an end step and had that option. Should be slightly better here. They're both functionally the same. I think we keep Badger Mole. the Earthbend 2. It's actually probably worth the double block for our opponent. At this rate, because again, they just have infinite creatures off boss Sing Se anyway. It sure is. We get the Scry now. And a land trigger for Earthbender Ascension, find a Seismic Sense. I mean, if Toph is still around, it's another Earthbend, but that doesn't do anything about the flyers that I'm dying to. Well, it digs for a flyer of our own. So Earthbend 2 plus dig for Avatar Aang. I only have one green source. Tap this, activate an island, and green, blue, red, white. What if I Seismic Sense into Iroh? Seismic Sense, find Iroh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have no mana untapped for anything else. I don't actually think I can do that. Okay, you got me. Combat Trick, sack pools. Hit for 6. This game was utterly unwinnable. The first loss was where we could have changed things. Just mulligan decision in one game is the only thing that really, I think, affects the end here. Pretty happy with this deck build. It played much better than I thought it would, and I think definitely leaning on the power of rares like Iroh and Avatar Aang was what this sealed pool was capable of. Did not see any good streamlined two-color decks in comparison to the just big Iroh and Aang and Toph value stuff. So, obviously, always sad not to get the full collector box run there, but 5 wins into 4 wins is an incredibly good win rate for best of 1 sealed like this, and basically breaking even on this one. And we were up in gems in the last one, so we're still up in gems overall. We've won like 5 more games than we've lost. Really good start to the runs, even if we don't get the box quite yet. Both of these runs have certainly had some learning moments. I think one of the 2 losses in each game, we could have changed things. Again, not like we could win guaranteed or anything. We have no idea what we would have had in our 6-card hand if we mulliganed in our first loss. But we could have mulliganed and had the standard, 48% chance of victory or whatever chance of victory you have after mulliganing once in that game, instead of the 0% chance that the hand that we kept had given us by the end, because we did not get any more good mana for it, and it was quite a slow hand, even if things did go right. So yeah, one rough mulligan decision I think is the biggest thing to learn from here today. In a negative aspect, biggest thing to learn from in a positive aspect is I think like this kind of big splashy super multicolored deck is probably a little more viable than I was giving it credit for. I was very, very nervous about the mana going in, but we only lost a single game due to mana stuff, as far as I remember. It was just the game that I did mulligan, so it was also partially self-imposed mana issues there for sure. So yeah, I think I discredited or was too nervous about big multicolored goop. Actually is viable. Avataring was so worth it. But that will end this run at 4-2 for today's record. But that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my members and patrons for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed this video and are interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send you some more on your recommended feed. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. And other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.